Good morning, you fabulous people. It's me, Calvin from Kwak Talks. You are watching Kwak TV because why watch crap TV when you can watch Kwak TV? Well, me, Calvin, and it is absolutely fabulous today. And I can't wait to bring today's guest on because he is a very good friend of mine. And we've not actually had a good catch-up in ages, so I really can't wait. It's going to be bloody fantastic. But if you are watching live, please jump in the comments and say good morning to me. And if you are watching on replay, please put hashtag replay because like I say every day, I like to know who stalks me. And remember, every day you can catch everything there. All these things up here. You can find me on YouTube, every single replay that I've done. Replay? One I've done. You know what I mean. Put my frigging teeth in. So yes, welcome. It is a fabulous, fabulous day. We're near the end of another week. And like I said yesterday, how have we made this week count? And can I also say, how fabulous was my guest yesterday? Like, never met him before, ever. First time I've ever spoke. Jack Revell. Go check him out. International model. Today's also an international model for an egg factory. So it's a... oh, the language I'm getting backstage. It's fabulous. But yes, good morning, Kirsty Hall. Hope you are well, my lovely, and that your little baby isn't screaming bloody murder today, bless you. Hope you are well. Good morning, Tanya. You've been jumping on every morning. We need to have a good old-fashioned chat. Hope you are well. I like the cat in that picture. It's a bit tight, but I like it. I do like the look of a good pussy in the morning. That's really wrong. I shouldn't say that. It's my show that I can do what I want. So yes, it's absolutely fabulous today. So what have we done to make this week count? What I have done this week is I've said as of technically Saturday last week. So I'm a big believer in, when people choose to do something, they go, oh, start on Monday. Why Monday? Start now, right? So last Saturday, I was kind of had a bit of an epiphany of that. I've worked on my business for so long, the past 12 to 14 months, that now is the time to work on me. The world is starting to reopen. There's a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's time to start working on myself. And I've got my home workouts finally delivered. They came yesterday, so I can't wait to get into them. If anyone remembers the insanity workout, yeah, even my person backstage is a bit like, oh. But yeah, I've got my insanity workout, more just to get a bit more cardio in my life, because my life, people, is this, sat at this desk. So yes, what are you doing? Is there going to be a version 2.0 or 3.0 of yourself? So there we go. But what else we got? She's actually asleep still, so I've got some peace. Hope it lasts. Well, this is why I don't have kids, and other reasons. Honestly, one drunken day in a hot tub. That's all you need. No, I'm just going to stop. So today, as we know, every day on Kwak TV, I like to go through the different days of the year. I don't know why, I just really like doing this. So today, not like we've been doing this for the past 12 to 14 months, it is wear your pajamas to work day. There we go. None of you can see, but I actually do have legs and there is pajamas on them. No, there isn't. I get actually dressed for work. I'm not that much of a lazy bastard. It's also grammar here. Save the elephant day, not the elephants. Just plural. Save one. That's probably what today is. Save one elephant. There's also Eggs Benedict Day. Oh, do you know what? I'm not a big fan of eggs. Don't know if it's just me. Not a big fan of eggs. I like the sound of an omelette, but when I eat it, I feel real bloated. Remember, and it is also Poetic Earth Month, and it is also Stress Awareness Month. That's what we're going with. And also, good morning, Callum. Facebook user, I don't know who you are. Meaning you need to go to the description at the top, click the little more button, click StreamYard Allow or whatever it says. Now I can see your fabulous name. We have got also Mr. Howard Vale. Good morning to you, kind sir. And also Harry Stedman. Good morning, Callum. Love the hat. I don't think we've met before. Welcome to the show, Harry. And thank you. The hat, I was actually abducted on something that looked like this hat. So I just had to get something to remind me. But I like the fact I can go from Russian to maiden. It's quite good. So today, with no further ado, I'm about to bring today's guest on the show, and I'm very curious to what they're doing. Oh, I knew there was doing something. I knew there was. So today's guest is a fabulous, fabulous friend of mine, and we met through various networking things like that, and they're absolutely amazing at what they do. They're a voiceover artist. They're kind of an actor as well. They're featured on Netflix and everything like that, and they can also sing amazing songs about tents, ropes, and backpacks. We'll elaborate when he comes on the show. So with no further ado, Mr. Paul Rose.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't wear hats. I don't know why I've done that.
No, you don't wear hats, Christ. But see what I mean,
Model
people.
For an egg factory. Brilliant.
Oh, hello, kind sir. How are you?
Start as you mean to go on. Why not? That's fine. Can I just say, I'm sorry, it's National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day.
Yeah.
Isn't every day wear your pajamas to work day?
Well, it has been the last 12 to 14
That's
months.
what I'm
hasn't it?
saying. I mean, really, I don't think we need a specific day for that.
No, apparently there is one.
It's
I think
like,
it's probably
like me celebrating Bald Appreciation Friday. It's every day.
It's probably actually reminding people that to not wear hats, not wear pajamas, don't wear hats either, people. You know, it's not good for you. Nice to know Paul spent all night doing his hair and forgot to bring it.
That's good. That's good. I like that. That's good.
Oh my God,
I'll tell you what, Harry. Do you know what? I'll tell you why I like that. It's because just when you think you've heard them all, and I have heard them all, I hadn't heard that one. So
I'm stealing that one.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
Paul, before we dive in, can you just tell everyone who you are and what you do for me?
Yes. Oh, you want me to? Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, hello, Kwak TV folks, wherever you may be. My name is Paul Rose. I'm a voice artist and actor. I'm also a radio presenter and make a mean spaghetti bolognese. I think we're just listing all the skills. Work-wise, between voice acting, what I also do is work as a presentation coach. So I help people in networking environments, which is where I met you, Callum, get really good at presenting their business in 60 seconds or less, which I absolutely love doing.
You do love doing it because obviously I've known you now to know you really get off. When you even hear a good elevator pitch, you really get off on it. You're a bit like, oh, like
I do, because you know there is a framework, and I think if people actually, there's an opportunity to really celebrate what you do, and so many people waste it. So many people will stand up and say, well, I do this and I do this and I do this. And they sort of list the things they do. You know, a golden opportunity to talk about the impact that their offering has on the world. And yet all they do is essentially talk about their job title. And yet when someone talks about an incredible story, something that's happened in their workplace, a life that they've changed a result of what they do, you just see them light up. And that passion is infectious. That's how you make the most of your networking relationships. People want to know more about you. They will gravitate towards you. They will give you business. And I get off helping people doing that.
See, obviously, you know, I 100% completely agree. The bit that I noticed a lot of people forget to do when doing any form of pitch or talking about themselves, they forget to tell me how they can help me. Tell me what they do. They tell me their business. They tell me their name, which is a key point. You know, always remember to tell them actually who you are. But they forget to tell how to help me. Do you come across that quite a lot? Because I like that. It's like, great, I know what you do. Now what do you want me to do with that information? How can you help me?
I mean, that's interesting because that's a two-part question there. Let's do them in reverse order. The second part, the call to action. It's all very well actually talking about what you do, but you've got a room full of people thinking, okay, what would you like me to do with that information? So, do you want me to find your referrals? Do you want me to actually become a client? Do you want me to buy a product? What do you want me to do? So that's more important. But the second point there, or in your case, the first point there, everyone is in that room with a different set of values. They've all come for a different thing, but they've all got one thing in common. They all join that network to grow their business. No one decided to join a network because they were hoping they'd meet a forever living person or join Utility Warehouse. No one's joining a network to buy. They're joining to sell. So when you talk about your offering, and let's talk about forever living. There's an example because that's something that I picked up from a great member of our network, Debbie Barrett. I don't know if she's watching.
Lovely lady,
lovely lady, great presenter. Got a lot of time for her. Now, if she talks about, oh, you could have, glowing skin, better health, well, that, etc. Those things are all great. But when she talks about the fact that you can have more energy to spend more time on your business, that's going to resonate with everyone in the room. Oh, so if I buy your product, I can actually make more money? Yes, you could. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying drink some aloe, there's a check for $1,000. It's not going to work that way. I mean, that would be nice.
That would be really nice.
They sell a lot more. I mean, the lip balm, you only get 500. I'm just saying it's there for the taking. But when we can create that possibility, when people can appreciate there's an opportunity there for them, that's how you help them. So if you're not sure how your product helps people, there's two ways to do it. One, simply talk about making money because you'll resonate with everyone. And two, ask your best customers how you helped them and then tell that story to the rest of the group, because it will resonate with other people there who will just simply think, oh, well, I like what happened to them, so by transitive properties, that will happen to me. Where do I sign? Real simple.
Love it. It's so key and essential. But let's talk about why you are good at this. Obviously, your voice is what gets you, is your living. Your voice is your living. You have learned, and I will say mastered, how to make the most out of using your voice in many, many different ways. So you've featured on Netflix.
Yeah.
You've got your radio program. You do talks for translation in Chinese, I think you just told me. So
doing some educational stuff for the Chinese marketplace. That's where I get to sing about, well, you said I sing about tents and ropes and backpacks. That was people thinking, what on earth are you talking about? So because we talked about this off air. So I've got a great client in China. I've been working with them for years now, and they're a production company, but one of their clients is responsible for teaching English to Chinese school children. So originally they took nursery rhymes and they just reworded them so you'd know the tune straight away, and it's usually Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. They love a bit of Twinkle Twinkle, but now they've started to expand into rewording pop songs and even original tunes. So what will happen is they will send me the lyrics, and they'll send me a guide vocal and then the backing track, and all I've got to do is reproduce it. But lyrically, they are a little bit weird. As in, so the last song I sung, what do we need for camping? We need a tent for camping. What do we need for camping? We need a rope for camping. We need a tent. We need a rope. We need a backpack. Let's go camping.
To which my reply was, this sounds like Dora the Explorer on acid.
On acid, which I think is brilliant. I'm definitely use that. I didn't even give you the second verse, which is ooh-ah, ooh-ah, yay, yay, yay. Repeated 4 times. This is how I make my living, folks. I'm a proud dad. But you know what? It's great because it's actually fun, and they love it, and it's really, really quite nice to be able to punctuate that the working day with that, because there'll be days when I'm doing perhaps an e-learning course for a company that specializes in social services, and I've had to read some case studies, some real horror stories, some stuff that once you've finished and you turn that microphone off, you're thinking, do you know what, I really need some time to decompress from that. That was really, really hard going to read those stories. So you have that as well. Then there's the boring stuff, the health and safety videos and the bits and pieces and the your call is important to us kind of stuff, which but you know what, it's very, very nice of you to actually say, I've mastered it. No artist would ever truly think they have mastered something until the day they die. I'll never stop learning. I'll never stop taking up training and associating with new people in the field so I can learn more things. I've worked with some brilliant coaches, and these are people that I will always credit, when I'm going on to my next level, when I'm achieving something else in my career, to just send an email to go, hey, that demo we recorded 8 years ago, that just got me a TV commercial. And they're so happy to hear from me. And I totally get that, because when people send me a little email going, I just tried that 60 seconds you wrote for me and I got a round of applause. Great. Well done. It's, as a coach, I enjoy my students' successes. It's really, as Howard Vale says, Paul gets off in 60 seconds. You want to watch yourself, Vale? I'm coming for you. But he's just being naughty. And I've been on his show. He's great as well. So, but yeah, I get off on the success of my students. I think that's key.
You have to. And the reason I do say the word mastered is, even with everything you've learned, a lot of people do this in business naturally anyway, or if they don't, and you're watching this, think about that. But it's actually, you've done and molded all these things you do for a living, and you realize when obviously networking and things, obviously you probably hope you should be good at it. It's what you do for a living. But then it's the fact, obviously, other people have gone, I want a bit of that. And it's like, oh, right,
Yeah.
okay.
And it's kind of how the coaching business got started for me. It was an accident. I joined a well-known networking organization. I'm not going to name names here because you know they're not going to give them any money.
There's lots of networking organizations.
There are a lot of other networks are available, but you know I joined one where you're required to present your business in under 60 seconds, and you know I've always been on stage.
Yeah.
Even when I'm not on stage, I'm on stage. That's what people know about me. So I would typically give a decent 60 seconds. And after a while, if I would stand in for other people or we do a swap where you read someone else's people, look, he's just done someone else's business better than that person's ever done their own. What? And this started to become a thing. Yeah. I get people now saying, could you sub for me every week? I'm like, well, no, it doesn't work that way. You really
don't work that way. Sorry.
So I'm not going to do that. But it got to a point where I was having a one-to-one with a business coach whose own 60-second presentations were not really working for him. He was constantly gonged out. He ran out of time, really wasn't getting his point across. And he wasn't, and this is key, he wasn't getting business from the room. And he was getting a little bit despondent from that. I started giving him a few pointers, a few thoughts on what he could do with his 60. And he said the immortal words, I think if you charge people money for this sort of advice, they'd probably pay you.
That is exactly how I started coaching, Paul. Exactly the same. I was just giving people advice and things like that. And it took one of my friends who had got into networking to come to me one day. He'd met other business coaches. And I went, Callum, how much would you charge for like 3 hours of your time just to go through my business plan and a couple of strategies? Charge. Just buy me a Nando's. Like, I'm fine with that. Like, don't worry about it, mate. It's buy me a Nando's. It's refillable Coke. I'm happy. You went, no, you're a business coach. You're also a mentor, but you're a business coach.
Yeah.
I went, wait, someone wants to pay me for this?
Yeah.
People will give me money for this?
It's a great feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because and you sort of, because you spend your time thinking, but I didn't develop this skill. This is just something I've
always had it.
I've always had this. Yeah. And what's great is that everyone watching this has got one of those. You've all got one thing that you do that you just, hi, Cara. Oh, sorry, I have to do it a certain way.
I have noticed, you're used to StreamYard. I noticed you're clocking the things coming in.
I'm clocking the thing. Yeah, you got to bring them up. But no, if you have to say hello, Cara, in a
I'll tell you what, before we carry on, I do like this one. What did they need the rope for?
I read that one.
Camping.
Listen, I don't deconstruct the lyrics. I sing them. I get paid. I move on with my day. All right? Seriously. It's not the most bizarre thing I've ever sung, but it's the last one I've sung. All right. Let's just leave it there. All right.
We're just leaving the rope in the tent with the backpack with Bora in the forest.
It's like no, the previous one was how do we go camping? We go camping by train, and then it's how we go camping by ship. You go camping by ship?
With a rope, a tent, and a backpack.
With a rope, and a tent, and a backpack. I mean,
a body bag.
even Dora, tripping balls at this point, is looking and thinking, "What the hell are you doing right now?"
Kind of dodgy school trip in a tent. Yeah,
Harry's doing some kind of dodgy school trip in a tent. That could open a can of worms. I don't even want to touch the tin opener at this point.
I'll tell you what. We'll dive back to the.
Let's go back to it. So every single one of us has got this skill. Something that maybe we've developed through training and coaching, or maybe we just always had it. Someone else out there will either want to learn how to do it or will simply pay you to do it for them. Do that, because then you start doing what you love and what you're good at. You never really work a day in your life.
No,
just becomes fun.
Full point with that is, for example, is the one thing I was told in school, every parents' evening, nearly every other lesson, and basically, but straight at me, don't go in the same sentence.
I was going to say you're a step ahead of me there.
But it's just the fact that I was a good student. A lot of people, because of how I am now, really don't believe that. I really was a good student. I was very introverted. Yeah. But the one thing I always got told was, he does talk a lot. It does talk a lot.
Yeah.
It does talk a lot. And actually, that's a transferable skill. That's what it's called now. Me being now a school governor, that's what they're really big about, is transferable skills. Yeah. And it's like, this thing that I always got told not to do, I'm naturally very good at. And it's like, right, okay. Wait, now people want to pay for me to speak, publicly speak. People want me to coach them and talk to them. You know, people want this from me because I have this skill of talking and, you know, actually speaking to people. And a lot of people want that. It's great. It's a really good thing. And obviously your transferable skill of any sort is you can do many, many things, Paul, can't you? Like many things. Like you can do a very good duck confit.
Well, I don't want to talk about it, but yeah.
He has a water bath, people. He has a water.
I'm not. Yes, I've got a sous vide. And that's a. But I've taken that show to try and get a gig on QVC. So fingers crossed. We'll see what's going to happen there. But do you know what? I want to pick up on something that you're saying there, and I think it's so powerful. You being told you talk a lot in school, and by the way, hello, was a negative.
Yeah,
being a chatterbox was a negative. Yes, Cara, all baths have water. He's talking about a water bath for cooking.
Yeah.
I get
it's
that.
A soothing.
I thought it was I said someone's going to pick up on the fact that all baths have water, and I didn't expect it to be Cara. I thought it would be Howard, or Harry. But so well done. Yeah. Points to you. So yeah. So imagine that you were told in your youth, stop doing that.
Yeah,
that's a negative. Your way of being is not going to serve you, and then here you are, decades later, earning a living from that. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. And what you must do, if you're a parent or if you know parents, is if you see children being called out because they're a little bit different or because they're dealing with something negative, is to say to them, look at me. I now make a living turning my negative thing into a positive, and so will you. You don't believe it now, you're too young. But for those people that are saying, nah, you stop doing that, don't stop being you. It's going to make you a fortune later in life.
Honestly, so one of the main things, and I'm retweaking like my story when I talk about it publicly, and one of the big things I've never really touched on is at school, I am crap at art, right? I cannot draw for the life of me. I can't even draw a straight line with a ruler. Wonder why. So, you know, I can't even do that. And I remember in art in particular, my teacher used to use my artwork as a bad example.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. And
horrible.
And don't get me wrong, you expect that from teachers, no offense, from maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago, not from in the last 10 years. And it is really hard when they do that. But the thing is, she never said I wasn't artistic. She said I wasn't creative. And it took me a very long time to realize, actually, it was when I had my retail business and I completely furnished a shop and I went, oh my God, this looks amazing. Like in just interior design, I was like, oh, I didn't think I'd be good at this, to be honest, like doing it. And then I'm like, oh, wait, now I do this with people and their businesses. I'm creative with them in that way. And it's just like this spectrum of creativity that I got told I never had. Yes, I'm not artistic. I will hold my hands up to that. I can, bit normal
thing to say. What creativity is drawing, and that's it.
Yeah.
I can't draw. You want to tell me that I'm not creative?
But imagine that for most of you, like you're saying, if you see it or hear it, honestly, knock it on the head. Tell them, because it can absolutely hold you back. You know, it can hold you back. I wouldn't say it damage you, because you'll probably never focus on it. You know, you'll probably never focus on it because you got told not to. It's one of them. It's probably going to hold you back. Let's look at a couple of these comments. So Tony's actually an ex-head teacher. I was told off at school continually for laughing. School obviously not meant to be enjoyable. Funny that you was a head teacher for 15 years, Tony. Absolutely funny, that, isn't it? Cara Wood saying, preach to everything we've just been saying. Harry, I was told I was too artistic, and now all I do is playing and making balloon sculptures for people, genuinely playing as it's experimenting. Love it. You got
too artistic. How is that a thing?
I don't know.
Too artistic.
Callum still wants to Yeah, and got to go, guys. Oh, see you later, Howard. Lovely to see you and speak to you soon. But yes, it really, really is one of just them shitty moments in life. But these are the things that lead to things like me and you running workshops, shows, things like that, retreats, all these kind of things, any coaches in that thing. And obviously, I know you've done quite a lot of workshops in the past for people. You've molded them really well, but I believe you've got a new one coming up, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I'm developing it at the moment. So the workshops I've had up to now, I mean, they've taken on twofold. It's generally you get a group of 15 people in a room for, I always say it's 2 hours, but we leave another hour on there because no one leaves because people have way too much fun, which is great. But it's like,
Yeah.
don't do it 3 hours. No one wants to sit in a Zoom room for 3 hours. Well, don't. If you want to leave after two, you can, but no one ever does. Where we work on people's 60-second presentations. And what I'm trying to do now, because I'm in more networks and obviously everything can be done virtually, is I've scaled that workshop back to something a little bit more content oriented, because the real power of the workshop is that everyone gets to play, everyone gets to have a go, and then we work on each other's presentations together. But some people want a slightly quicker fix than that. They just want to take the content and go and run with it. So I am building a workshop, and just please keep in touch with Callum and he'll let me know if you're interested in doing it. It'll be at a much lower price point, probably something around about the £39 point. It's still 2 hours, maybe 90 minutes, but 90 minutes, 2 hours. But there'll be none of the interaction. It'll be me just essentially answering questions that have come up in other workshops, because they come up in every workshop, and saying, you know what, a lot of people want to know this. Let's talk about this. Now, obviously, there will be some people who would like to take a look at this and think, well, that's great, but I want more. Is there more available? Of course there is. I'm still providing one-to-one coaching. And in many ways, the mini workshop is being used as a stepping stone to people to actually come on board. But something that you and I were talking about before coming on air, when you become a coach and you start pushing yourself online as a coach, you get inundated with coaches. Your Facebook stream becomes filled up with these people. You could get people paying you $10,000 every month for your knowledge. Why on earth would someone pay me $10,000 a month to get better at presenting in a network that they actually pay £240 a year to be a part of? That's ridiculous. Okay, I just don't get it. And whilst there will be things, oh, well, that's a self-limiting belief you got right there. No, it isn't. I'm looking at market forces and recognizing that I wouldn't pay me $10,000. I know my stuff is worth gold. I genuinely believe that I'm adding value. But to these people that say, oh, we've just come back from a mastermind, we paid $90,000 for a ticket. Who are these people? Who are these people that are spending all this money? Who are these people following Tony Robbins around the world, dropping $250,000 a year to hear the man with the big face tell them how they should live their life? Who are these people? And why are they not giving me money? Right? I don't get it. So I am not trying to actually get you to actually, oh, you know what? Sign up with me for 39 quid and I'll give you a course which is just a bit crap. But actually, if you want the real value, it's going to cost you. That's like going into a car showroom, agreeing to actually pay £10,000 for that car. And then once you've actually handed over your money, the salesman's going, now, did you want the engine? What? Sorry, what? No, I've done the deal. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to drive away. I want my people to drive away. Stay in touch. And when you want to come back to me, it's because you want to share your successes. And maybe you want to polish off a few things, try new bits of skills, something like that. I'm not going to keep you on the hook for the rest of your life. I want to help more people.
$89,900 or pounds. You can keep that. Just
keep it.
Keep it.
Don't go paying Tony Robbins all that money to tell you how you should live your life.
When everything he says is on YouTube.
It's all there. It's all these people, all these. It's just like everyone's dispensing this advice. Okay, I'm living proof that what I do works, because people come and they try it and they love it. And they walk away and they feel better for it. Great, it makes me happy. And there'll be plenty of business coaches who go, I've got a terrible, terrible business model, that my clients don't have a decent enough lifespan, that I'm not making enough money out of them. It's never, ever going to work. I really like what I do, Callum, and I help a lot of people. I can live with that.
Yeah.
And if you want to give me $1 million, that's fine. But
happily give me it. I'm not going to turn it down.
I'll take money.
Yeah.
I'll take money, but no, I won't.
I'll give you the money. I'll give you £39 back.
Do you know what? I think that's a fair exchange.
Yeah, that is a fair exchange. Paul, believe it or not, we've been talking for half an hour.
I do believe.
Yeah, honestly. Any final words of wisdom you would like us to finish on? Anything else you would like to say before we finish the show?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, you are awesome. Some of you have forgotten that. And more importantly, someone else in your life has forgotten to remind you of it. So I want you to find 3 people today and just go and tell them they're awesome. That's all. Just go and tell them they're awesome. Tell them why. Recognize their awesomeness and what it does for your life. 3 people. You'll feel fantastic.
I like that. I really like that. Paul, thank you so much for coming on the show. Obviously, stick around. We're going to have a good old natter afterwards.
Yeah.
But lovely. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And I'll speak to you in a minute. Bye. Bye. Oh, honestly, I love that man. We've not been able to speak properly in a very long time. We've both been really, really busy. So I'm really glad when you booked in for the show. Absolutely love it. So thank you so much for tuning in to Kwak TV, because why watch Kwak TV when you can watch Kwak TV? And you've been watching it with me and the Mr. Paul Rose. So make sure you go and find him everywhere. And remember, you can catch this replay and every replay all on my YouTube channel, plus on my Facebook page, Kwak Talks, and in my Facebook group, The Duck Pond. And make sure you tune in next week, because we've got an array of guests, and a lot of them I've never met before. The wonderful Taz Thornton that came on the show put me in touch with a lot of them, because she said they need to be on it. I need to meet these people. So make sure you tune in next week. Put my bloody teeth in. And remember, in the words of Banana, if you can't be good, be careful. If you can't be careful, don't get caught.